Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to Nessie Wolf's Kitchen. Today, we're gonna be cooking a steak. Now, for me, I love steak. It's one of my favorite foods in all of America, and it's one of my favorite meats. So, steak. Well, what we're gonna be doing today, we're gonna be putting it in the oven to marinate it at a very low temperature for about an hour. So this is a pretty thick cut steak. This is a strip. I believe this is a New York strip. I forgot what it said. So seasonings first. Salt, pepper, and main ingredient steak seasoning. It's gonna be our main ingredient to season the steak. So what you're gonna do is that you wanna do some salt, pepper, and of course, steak seasoning. Now, we're going to be doing this on both sides. So you want to do some steak seasoning as well. Now, after you season it, you're going to be putting it at a very low temperature. I'll say about 300 degrees. About 300 to 315 degrees. So we're going to be putting this in the oven for about an hour to marinate it. You don't really need to preheat it. You preheat it for 315, and you now time it for about 50 minutes, about 35, maybe to 40, 35 to 45 minutes. Now let's talk about the other seasonings we're going to be putting on the steak. So, the next thing. We're going to be focusing, because after we're going to marinate it, we're going to be basting the steak with butter and garlic and rosemary. And of course, that's all you need. So, some butter and butter, garlic. So, we're just gonna be putting it in a small bowl so we can dump it into the pan while we're making a crust for it. So butter in there and garlic. They say garlic is one of the most hardest things to So you do that, you just want to peel it like this. Alright. And the thing I like to do, take a big knife, right? And you crush it like that to get that shell off. It works perfectly. And there you go. Now this is really strong, so I'm just going to clean the edges off. And that's basically it, butter and garlic and rosemary. So, rosemary. Rosemary leaves or flakes will work. As long as you have rosemary, you're good. You're fine. Yeah. There you are. Some rosemary. Rosemary leaves are a lot more better to use, but rosemary, okay? Okay. Now that steak's cooking, after you marinate it, I'll be back with you in about 30 minutes. Also, what will really help, if you have one of these temperature monitors things, you stick this halfway through the meat, and it'll tell you the temperature of the meat. Now it says I might cook my steak to either medium rare or medium, which is to 130 to 139 degrees, or 140 to 159 degrees. So turn it on, and it will tell you temperature, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna check that right now. Actually, been cooking for a little bit. Get some stuff here. Looks pretty good. Okay. Let's get halfway. Let's get halfway through the meat. Okay, so it's actually the right temperature. It's at 126, but when we cook it in the pan, it's gonna cook it in there. So turn that off, and I'll be back with you guys in just a second. So when the steak comes out of the oven, it doesn't look too impressive. It's a little gray, but that's gonna change. So get a cast iron skillet on high heat and put a little bit of oil in there. Just a little bit, not much. Okay. And let that heat up. Reason you use cast iron is because it holds a lot of heat, like I said, and it makes a good crust to the steak. So we're just gonna spread this oil around, okay? And waiting for that to heat up. So I'll see you guys in a minute. When your pan heats up, you want to just put the steak on it to make a crust. Alright. It's gonna cook around 30 to 40 seconds on each side because this is a pretty thick steak. So we're gonna let that heat up. Make a crust. It's gonna soak it in here. Alright. 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 So what we're doing now, we're making a crust. So, because it doesn't look impressive, it's a little bit gray, so we're going to make a crust for it, which will be amazing. Give him a check, right? Ooh! Look at that crust. Alright, now we're going to go in with everything. Put stick to the side so it doesn't overcook. And we're going with everything. So butter, rosemary, and the garlic, okay? So put the butter on there. So which one do you want to put here? Right? Put it and you baste. That infuses what this is doing, this is infusing the steak with good flavors, alright? After it's nice and seasoned on one side, you want to turn it over to the other side. Woo! Look at that crust. Awesome. Alright. Whoopsie. You basic. Go ahead and kill the heat. This stuff smells amazing. The butter and the rosemary, it makes it so much better. Alright. Now, when that's all done, we'll put it on the cutting board and let the steak rest. Let that steak rest for about a minute or two. Now, don't let this flavoring go to waste now. Don't let this flavoring go to waste. Don't let that flavoring go to waste, because what we're doing now, we'll take it, right? I like to actually cook this garlic and don't let it go to waste. So if you want to smooth some more on there, you can. That sounds kind of heavy, so you might want to put another minute on, because it's after the rest. So if you want to baste it some more, you can. Get that nice garlic on there, okay? Alright. Alright. I'm gonna see you guys in just a second. Let's take the temperature one more time. Put it in there. See what it says. Perfect. Ooh, man, that's gonna be amazing. So, after it's nice and cooked now, the best part. See, when we cut it in half, what it looks like. Ooh, perfect. Wow, this looks amazing, guys. Oh yeah, good trick. I don't know if some of you guys know this, but if you take a fork, and I put it like this, use the lines on the fork to cut the pieces. But you probably need a smaller knife than this. So I'm just gonna cut it for presentation. A little piece for myself. Oh snap. Mmm. Mmm. That's good stuff. Mmm. Cut off the presentation. Alright. Alright. My mouth is watering before I eat this. It's like I want some steak, please. Alright. Now, get a plate where we're gonna eat. I'll take the plate you're playing on. And after presentation. Boom. And if you want, you put some chips too, but nah, I'm good. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make one tasty looking steak. Let's put some taste test here. Butter garlic and rosemary. It's so good. That's a nice, beautiful pink. That's exactly what you want. This is a medium steak. So like this is cooked to medium. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a comment down below what else you want me to cook. And I guess see you guys later. Deuces.